Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am going to talk about the visual field interpretation in this presentation. My talk will be mainly about the Humphrey automated visual field, and my presentation will contain 5 sessions. Today I will start by the first session. My presentation sessions are about the introduction, the first session, the second session, the single field analysis, the third session, systematic approach, the fourth session about the glaucoma criteria, and the final session, the guided progression analysis. Let's go to the introduction in this session. Today I'm going to talk about the definition of the visual field and about the definition of some visual field terms. The visual field, the simple definition of the visual field is a hell of the vision in the sea of the darkness as defined by the tracker. This is a photo show us this is island of the vision surrounded by the sea of the darkness, and you can see the blind spot and the point of the fixation, which is the sharpest point, which represents the point of the fovula. Another definition of the visual field is the visual area that it is perceived simultaneously by fixating eye. The normal limits of the visual field for the human, from superiorly it's about 60 degrees, inferiorly from 70 degrees to 75 degrees, and the horizontally nasally about 60 degrees, and temporally from 90 degrees to 100 degrees. This is the normal limits of the visual field. Now the terms that used in the visual field, I will start by definition of the threshold. What is the threshold? The threshold of a particular point on retina is the intensity of the light. Okay, the intensity of the light with the probability of detection being 50%. 50%. What that mean? Let's see, this is a graph. The vertical meridian is the stimulus intensity. The horizontal meridian is the percentage perception, and we can see this is point which received by the 50%. It is the threshold sensitivity. To understand more about the threshold, let's imagine a particular point on the retina, and the stimulus was projected for about 100 times on this point, and there was 50 times response to this stimulus, and 50 times missed this stimulus. That's give us the threshold value. When the intensity of the light brighter than the threshold intensity, that's called the supra threshold. The isopter. What isopter means? Isopters is a line connecting points of the same sensitivity. We can see in this picture the isopters of the same sensitivity and make circle around the fixation as 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 50 degrees, 60 degrees. You can see it's nasally, it's lower extension than temporally. Temporally it's extend more, up to 90 or 100 degrees. If we apply this one on the hell of the vision, we can see the hell of the vision, the fixation at the sharpest point, and you can see the isopter make the contour of the hell. You can see this circles around the fixation, making the contour of the hill. Also, you can see that on the hill of the vision that the curve nasally is sharply declined, while temporally it is gradually declined. Luminance. The luminance is the intensity or brightness of the light stimulus, which is measured in apostille. So the apostille is the unit of the brightness of the light stimulus. The luminance is the intensity or brightness of a light stimulus measured in apostilles. That means the apostille is the unit for the intensity or brightness of the light stimulus. When there is a higher intensity stimulus, there is a higher apostille value. In the other side, the sensitivity is lower. To understand this, the points in the periphery of the retina where there is a lower sensitivity, to stimulate these points we need a higher intensity stimulus. On the other side, the points in the center of the retina where the sensitivity is high at the center of the retina, we need a lower intensity stimulus to stimulate the center of the retina. Now the decibels. The decibels are not a true unit of the luminance. We said the luminance unit is apostille, and luminance is the intensity of the stimulus, the brightness of the light stimulus. Perimetry usually concentrates on the eye's sensitivity. The perimetry machines concentrate and focus on the eye's sensitivity, not on the stimulus intensity. And the decibel, theoretically, it is the unit of the sensitivity. Let's see here the differences between the apostilles and between the decibels of the Humphrey and decibels of the octopus. The apostilles, 10 thousandths apostilles equal 0 Humphrey, 0 decibels. 10 thousandths apostilles equal 0 decibels in Humphrey machine. 1,000 equal 10 decibels. 1 apostille equal 40. So the apostille is the unit of the luminance. The decibel is the unit of the sensitivity. The apostilles and decibel values are inversely proportional for any particular machine. Now the differential light sensitivity. The differential light sensitivity represents the degree by which the luminance, the intensity of the light of a target, must exceed background luminance in order to be perceived. To understand this one, that means the perimetry machine or the visual field machine presents all the stimulus with intensity is higher than the intensity of the background luminance. Why? To give us a contrast sensitivity between the stimulus and between the background. The static perimetry. The static perimetry, static means in each tested location, in each point, the stimulus remains fixed in size, but the intensity increased until it is seen by the subject. So that means the machine increased the intensity of the stimulus, of the fixed size stimulus, increase the intensity till the subject see that the stimulus at that, when the subject see the stimulus, it's the threshold value, or sometimes decreased until it is no longer detected. So as you can see here, this is the hell of the vision, and we consider the red arrow is the stimulus with fixed size, and the length of the arrow is the intensity of the stimulus. You can see on the sharp point of fixation of the hell, the length of the red arrow is smaller, the smallest one, as it needs a lower intensity, where you can see that the length of the red arrow is increasing toward the periphery. That means increasing the intensity of the fixed size stimulus. Thank you for listening.